All right. We are live. Welcome everybody to another live stream for Reminem, real estate media and marketing for real estate photographers and media professionals. If you are on like YouTube or like today we're going all out. We're even on LinkedIn, I think. I don't know if it's actually working or not, but if you are on those platforms and you see me like frozen for the first 15, 20 seconds, that's because I'm waiting for the Facebook Live to trigger. So my apologies. And I don't know how to get around that. So if you are new here, my name is Jay, and I am the founder of I Am Through Media. And this is basically a weekly conversation that I either have with myself or other real estate photographers or media professionals to try to share ideas, add value, see how we can help each other. You know, do more business, help more people, and ultimately create a win-win environment for everybody. So usually we have a couple people, that hop on from the get-go. We'll talk about, whatever is on the mind. If no one is on here, then I just kind of go into something that I've prepared. So today might be a short one, but I wanted to talk about how you can generate additional revenue by helping real estate agents with their Google business profile, specifically speaking posting their listings on Google Business Profile. And there's a lot of power to that a lot of people are not taking advantage of. And anytime that we can help agent be seen and heard more, I think that's always a positive thing. And whether it's you are educating your agents to be able to do this or you're actually doing it for them, every time someone has a listing and they hired you to capture and put together this amazing content with the photos and the videos and all that, it is going to be it's going to be something that is um, like, I don't see why you would not put that on Google Business Profile because it's gonna help the SEO. Um, Google's gonna like the fact that you are active on there. So, and this idea came from me having like a brainstorming session with my team. So I wanted to share that with everybody. All right, so Henry is here. Hey, what's going on, Henry?
What's up, Jay?
Um, all
How
right.
you doing, sir?
So I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna finish my prepared stuff first. So hang tight. Feel free to ask any questions. So we're talking about Google Business Profile. So I'm gonna start by sharing my screen. And the first thing that you want to do is, and I'm coming from, I'm gonna first touch up on how you can kind of get all this set up, meaning if you want to be able to post something on someone else's Google Business Profile, you first need to be made a manager. So let's go over that first. And my team is actually working on putting together like a how-to guide for this. So when we are done with that, that might be something that I can share with the community. So first thing you want to do is have them just go into their Google Business Profile. And how you do that, and the reason why I'm actually saying how you do that is you will come across people that say, how do I do that? Because there's a good chance that their Google Business Profile was not created by themselves. Like, someone in the brokerage, like in the office, could have done it for them. When I was with a big brokerage locally, we had marketing department that were like, we will create it for you, kind of thing. So if that was the case, they would not know. So what you do is you go to the Chrome profile that your main email or whatever email would have been used for creating that Google Business Profile, and all you have to do is actually just kind of Google search, right? So I'm just gonna search for us. I am Media, and then you should come across something that looks like this. So on a normal search, you would not see this section right here. You're not gonna so this is kind of like that setting, the back end user area. And typically you'll see the stuff on the right, but how you give someone access, how you can get access is have them connect this three little dot right here, and then you have them go business profile setting, and then that brings up these four menus. Then you go to people and access, and then have them add you or whichever email you want to add. And then make sure they're checking on manager, not owner, because you don't want that liability of, doing something where you can like delete the whole thing. So you don't want that. So once you do that, then you will be able to have access to the Google Business Profile. So just to kind of give you an idea, I'll show you one of our clients. So if I were to, is this the right profile? Not this one. So if I went to, and so this is one of our clients that I have access to because I had her go through the same process of being able to do that. So there are a lot of things that you can do with Google Business Profile, but today we're just going to stick strictly with posting something about the listing that just happened that you were just hired for, and how that is going to add a lot of value to the agent being amplified on the Google, the interweb ecosystem. So we're gonna go back to our profile here, and it is so simple. And you can do this once a day, twice, once a week, twice a week, three times a week, however way you want to put this together as a package. That's completely up to you. But all you really have to do is, the first thing you can do is go to post and add a post. And what you want to do is you can do as an update. So let's just say there's a new listing coming. And what I would do is I will go ahead and pick out a photo. So let me see if I can find a listing photo recently real quick. Okay, so here's a listing photo. I'm not actually going to post it, but so imagine I'm inside of the agent's Google Business Profile, and what I'm going to do is just list it in the heart of North Bend. Rare, fine, luxury meets I don't know, luxury meets mountain. I don't know. I'm just writing whatever. And the important thing here is that you mention as many of the keywords, like the search engine optimized words for the agent as possible, right? So just list it North Bend, because this agent, like the agent that had this listing, is from North Bend, because all of this actually serves as search engine optimizer. Everything that you put, every word, every phrase that you put in Google, it operates as search engine optimizer, meaning if my client is specializing in listings in North Bend, Washington, the more you say listing North Bend, Washington, whatever, like that's all going to go towards helping being found on Google, right? So here's a photo. Here's, whatever description. I mean, you get up to 1,500 characters. So there's a lot you can do. And you can also leverage AI to be able to kind of write some of this. But, don't overdo it so that it doesn't feel like human writing, because now people are kind of sniffing that out. And then what I typically would do is you would add a button. And then what you do is go learn more. I like to do learn more, but I guess technically you can do like call now and put the agent's phone, but I like to do learn more. and then this allows for you to put in a link. And what I would do is I would go grab the link to the single property page, which let me actually go do that right now. Let me find that.
So drive traffic to your website.
Correct. Because that is the one thing that we can actually say, hey, like, this is the thing that, as marketers, right? We were able to drive this much traffic. Because if you say call the agent, I mean, agent may not pick up the phone. I don't know.
Right.
So it's, you want to keep it in a realm where, like, you want to keep it in the arena where you have control over the data. So for this particular listing is going to be, all right, so here we go. So this is let me go back. All right, so this is the listing website. So we want to drive traffic here. So I'm going to go back here. Oops, click the wrong button. Let me go back to sharing that. All right, so we're back. All right, so I'm going to go here and then share that link, and then I'm going to post. Obviously, I'm not going to actually post this one. So that's what you can do with the update. You can even do an offer, right? Because technically it is an offer. It is something that is for sale. I don't, I don't know. Like, I'll leave this kind of up to, best judgment, but it is an offer. So you could make it, for sale, right? This listing. And hey, come check out and you can leverage the start date, end date as like, open house dates, right? So if the agent is having an open house, like, you can leverage that. Or you can just use the events tab as just promoting the open house. Right. So what I would do is I would first, whenever a listing is getting ready to go to market, I would say, hey, like, here's the offer. And, I don't know. I mean, realistically speaking, most agents are going to have a listing agreement signed for probably at minimum 3 months. Some go like 6 months, but you could actually say, hey, starting, this today, and then I don't know, make it go 3 months out. So here's the offer, this listing, and that's kind of like step one, right? And then you can do an update with different photos saying, hey, like, this is the kitchen of the house, this is the living room of the house. Like, you can do multiple of those, and then you can leverage event as open house hosting. So in the course of the first 10 days, let's say, right? Like, we have a marketing package that we call like 10-day blitz, where we, create social media content and post for the agents for first 10 days. We can probably squeeze in a 10-day blitz, literally just posting on Google Business Profile. Because if you're coming back from that listing with, 20, 25, 30, 40 pictures, I mean, I'm sure there's something that can be said about each of the spaces that you can post. And there is no such thing as you're posting too much, right? Especially on Google Business Profile. So if you make that into an offer to an agent saying, hey, I can do this for you, for 5 days or a week or 10 days, what is that going to equate to in terms of the value coming back? Right? You can create that. I think we have it set at 195 right now for Google Business. So we call it like Google Business Profile, like booster, right? Because our whole mantra is like rocket launch. So we call everything booster. So this would be the Google Business Profile booster, where we have in course of a week, here's how we're going to launch it for you. Here's how we're going to post it for you. And we're going to promote your open house. Right? Because if you, again, it's probably not something that majority of the agents are doing. And this is a easy prospecting tool as well, because all you have to do is go to Zillow, look up an agent that has a listing, go to their Google business profile. And if they're not doing this, then you go, did you know that here's a way that you can leverage your listing to be found, right? To be more prominent on Google. And by the way, if you come across someone that doesn't even have a Google business profile, oh my goodness, like that's a whole nother conversation. So again, like I think this is something that doesn't take a whole lot of your time, right? If you do multiple days of this, then you're just gonna have to be very methodical and disciplined, right? So that you're not missing, because on Google Business Profile itself, there is no scheduler. However, there are tools out there that will allow for you to schedule things out. Right. So this is where, I mean, if you can go out there and charge 95, 149 or 195 for this as an add-on. And, if it takes you, 3 times a week to make sure that you go in and, get it posted, or then you can leverage external help to be able to do it for you. That's where we would come in. But there are a lot of different ways that you can use Google Business Profile to really kind of add that extra add-on option, extra revenue, especially if you are, if you have like someone that can help you. Like even like let's say you have another photographer, but they're not as busy. Then you could be like, hey, like, would you want to do this? Because then I'll split some of that with you, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can leverage this so that you're providing, additional revenue options for, other people around you as well. So hopefully that helps. That is, and that's just one. Like, there's a whole lot of a whole lot of different things that you can do on Google Business Profile. So this probably should be like a whole like hour worth of kind of breaking down thing on its own. Which, by the way, like I have to do a better job with my own Google Business Profile. So I am staying with the theme of being the biggest hypocrite in the world. But hopefully, everybody out there is going to be better at this than I am, hopefully. So yeah, like if give that a shot. I mean, it's again, it's an easy way to upsell. I guess the mileage will vary depending on where you're from. Like Henry, you're probably not gonna put $200 price tag on this one where you are. I'm assuming. So again, mileage will vary, but it is definitely an add-on. I think even in the most rural areas of Kentucky, $95 would still be a tremendous amount of value, I think.
Yeah, my only thought is like, how much time am I going to be spending doing these edits? You know what I mean?
It's not an edit. It's literally if you're leveraging AI, all you're doing is, and you have access to their Google Business Profile, you're going post, add a post, right, add a description, add a picture, add a button, and post. It'll literally take you not even 10 minutes. Right, especially like if you're doing like a week-long kind of thing, like say you're gonna do it for like 5 days, right? If you sit down for half an hour and just plan out all 5 days, then you just have to go in and do it, which will be less than. I would say if you want to do this for 5 days, it'll take you less than an hour combined.
Actually, well, I mean, the more you plan up front, the better your profit margins, right?
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I'll tell you what. Okay. There is a tool. Let me just show you the tool. Okay. So on Go High Level, you can actually do this. So let me just show you. I'm just going to log into our software, Listing Launchpad. And so inside of this, we are able to schedule and create a post. So here is my Google business profile right here. And it actually will say, so down here, you can either save it for later or we can schedule the post ahead of time. So if you would like to know how you can access a software like this, let me know, because then you can schedule it. Then that just made your life, like, I didn't want this to be like a plug, but okay, fine. It could be a plug where we actually create different templates and things like that for you as well. So
What section are you in on marketing?
yes. Yep. All right. All right. So you have any questions on that, Henry?
No, you actually answered a couple of questions.
Cool.
Honestly, in fact, I've got. I just did a whole series of posts or for videos, video ideas, scripts, and all that.
Okay.
A lot of it actually has to do with getting the value. Like how? Okay, so you like your real estate agent comes back and said, "Well, great, I got all these pictures and videos. What are you doing with them? How are you taking advantage of the value of what you purchased?"
Right.
Yeah, this is right into that. So that's
and last week I talked about how you can actually add collaborators on YouTube.
okay. Well, explain to me what are the collaborators? Is that like these are the people I'm working for, or what is that? What is the advantage of that?
No, so if you go on like on Instagram, right? You can add a reel, and then you can add, like, I can create a reel and post on Instagram, and then I can add you as a collaborator, which means when you accept the invitation, it now shows up on your account as the reel.
Okay.
Right? So if you're the agent, I'm the photographer, I created this reel, right?
Mhm.
I can give it to you, but if you don't know how to post a reel, or you're one of those I'm too busy to do anything kind of people,
Right.
we can post it, add you as the collaborator so that your audience can see it as if you posted it.
Okay, but they're not getting the traffic, or do they get? Or does the traffic still count for them as well?
You mean like
In terms of like views, likes, that kind of material? Is that? I mean, I'm the one who posted it.
so
Collaborator, do they still
you can still see all that, you just don't have control over it because you're not the one that posted it.
Gotcha.
So same thing on YouTube. I can produce a 360 story video or something, and then I can add the agent as a collaborator. It will show up on their channel, but they're not gonna have any like back end access. Like they can't control. They can then decide to like decline the invitation so that the video is gone from their channel, but they don't really control anything. So my thought is, if it's an agent that we're like, if it's a Listing Launchpad Pro agent where we're supposed to do everything for them, we don't add them as the collaborator. We would just post this to their YouTube channel directly.
Gotcha.
Right. And I was kind of thinking you can leverage this as like a licensing play where technically the content that you create, whether it's photo, whether it's video, it is a licensing agreement that they are paying for, which typically means the licensing period is when the house goes on the market until it is sold and closed, right? So when it's sold and closed, technically you have the right to eliminate whatever content that is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it could actually be like a upsell where, oh, hey, extra $50, we'll make this like a lifetime marketing license.
Gotcha.
Right now, you'll get a lot of pushback from the agents because they don't understand how this works. They just think that, oh, I bought it. I have to remind a lot of people, like, no, you didn't buy it. You are licensing the content. I've never enforced it ever, but
Right. I've had a couple people come back when they're like, "Well, the homeowners want the photos. Can I give them the photos?" I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, that's a hard no.
They can come talk to me about that.
Right. Correct. Now you could be super nice and say, I'll tell you what, I will grant you a, additional license that you can provide for the homeowners, right? And that should be the verbiage that you use. It's not you can give them the photos. I will provide you an additional license that you can give to the sellers so that they can keep it. And this license is perpetual as long as they are not reselling it.
Well, they're going to go to another. I mean, they're going to go to another agent and sell the house.
No. I'm just talking about, like, you want to wrap it so that to the agent it feels like you're doing them a favor.
Sure.
Right.
Cool.
So, how have you been, man? Haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I was in Virginia 1 week. I was in San Diego up until Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was going on in San Diego?
A Christian entrepreneur club meeting. So it was like a bunch of entrepreneurs getting together, talking about stuff. It was
okay.
Absolutely awesome.
Sweet.
So yeah, doing that. Came home, shot a project Monday, and building up my CR. Trying to build out a landing page, or technically it's a funnel in the CRM. I'm just trying to make sure I get this right before I launch it. So, quick before I forget. I thought it was normal, but apparently not. Zillow has apparently changed the game again for videos. And I guess now that they are, if you're putting a nice high definition video with no branding, no logos, nothing like that, they will, again, it's tearing up, kind of like the Zillow tours. They're wanting to promote higher end video work now.
All right, I'm gonna have to fact check you on that. Where is this information coming from?
A good friend of mine who's very much on top of that. I'm gonna have to check that out myself. I just heard about it about an hour ago. It was just like, I guess so.
Because I did get an email saying that they are going to allow videos now on the Zillow showcase.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I'm referring to. Yeah, on the Zillow showcase.
Okay.
It has to be a high end. It has to be a high quality video. Cannot have.
They don't know what that really means.
Well,
like
they don't
define high quality. It's HD video.
Right. Yeah, I get that. But I mean,
right.
But as far as like the branding, like they don't want logos all over the place. The agent can come out, talk about, like, introduce themselves and the agency that they're with. That's it. They can't have like branded or watermarks or anything like that. It has to be a very clean video. So there's some criteria as far as what it is, but it does give a lot of boost for video work to agents that are wanting to use Zillow Showcase.
Yeah, my personal opinion literally doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean a thing to anybody other than it's just another tchotchkes that Zillow's using to try to sell their thing.
Right, but I mean, as far as the work goes, to me, the fact that they can actually put video on that listing now is kind of a big deal for their agents, so they can say, "Oh, check it out, we can actually add this too now."
Which you will be signing your life away when it comes to licensing.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So so here's the thing. It's hard for me to get behind that because I can't get behind the whole Zillow showcase thing to begin with. So, I mean, if an agent comes and they're like, "Hey, like, can I do all this and can you put it on?" I'm going to say sure, right? Now, because of so up until this point, I wasn't being too critical about, okay, I take the pictures. If it goes up on Zillow Showcase, then Zillow basically owns my stuff. Right?
Yeah, there's I think it's the HD, like the basic line. The basic one doesn't happen that way. I think it's that's like the next tier up is when they can actually do all that.
What do you mean?
Well, like the initial agreement that I signed, I actually went and read about who owns the proprietary rights to all the imagery, and it says the imagery still is retained. The ownership is still retained by the
If Zillow can do whatever they want, whenever they want, with whomever they want, on wherever they want, they might as well own it, because that's basically what that is. Right. So when it came to photos, I was just like, all right, well, I mean, what else can I be doing with these photos? So I'm just like, okay. But now that it's like going into video, so then now I might have to think about it. I might have to be like, that might be an extra that I have to charge for you to be able to put the video on there, because then once that happens, then I no longer have access to that. What's interesting is how they would deal with like the music.
Yeah, they said it has to be you have to have a license, either have a license.
So they want you to pay for the licensing, but then they don't have to. Yeah, that's so yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I thankfully I only have like one or two agents that do the showcase, and I'm just like, man, save that $750 and go invest it in other types of marketing. I don't know. I don't know. Do you know how much it is in your area
for
Zillow Showcase?
I think the pricing like I have is pretty comparable for like for hiring one of their photographers to come out and do
No,
it.
how much it costs the agent to do Zillow Showcase?
No idea.
Yeah, it's like I think the smallest plan out in my area is like $750 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I think they have something like, if you sign up or you have certain credit, like they will provide you the photographer and stuff.
Right.
From what I understand, they're not very good. Not easy to work with. So
they're not vetted, so you don't know what you're going to get.
All I'm saying is, like, why do you want to put your livelihood, like your business, in the hands of a company that basically can dictate whatever they want?
No, I got you.
Right?
Yeah. No.
I mean,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
that, yeah. I mean, yeah, kudos to them for building the biggest, real estate search platform. I mean, yeah, and I guess that's the result. That is the end result of them being able to do stuff like that, because they do have that leverage. But what I'm saying is, hey, build your own thing and drive traffic to that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, and I 100% agree. But there's still people out there that would like to know that. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You have anything on your mind?
Yeah. So let's if it's okay. I kind of want to talk about video planning.
Like. Yeah. So, go ahead.
So when you show up to it, I mean, some of these videos over there are just amazing. I love watching them. But when you actually arrive on scene, you're like, okay, how am I going to shoot this? And then like trying to put the formula together and think about how it's going to play out when the editors look at it. You don't. It's just a little confusing for me. Like, how
are you talking about listing videos?
Yeah.
Like the tour videos?
Mm-hmm. You get like generic shots and then kind of keep the consistency there, or
at this stage of, like, as of current moment, for me, there is no planning required. I guess it's because I've just been doing it long enough, right? But even in the beginning when I did it, there really wasn't a whole lot of planning. And I think I might put that on the fact that I have real estate agent background.
Right.
And my approach was always, if I'm bringing a buyer here, right? If I'm bringing a buyer here, what do I want them to see? That was my approach. So, what do I want them to see, and in what order do I want them to see it?
Mhm.
That has always kind of been my north star of how to do that,
Okay.
right? So for example, like, if a lot of these overseas editor, not ours, because they know better, a lot of these overseas editor, what they'll do is they kind of go sequential order. They edit based on sequence.
Mm.
So unless you tell them exactly, do this, do this, do this, do this, a lot of them will just kind of go sequence. I don't know. Maybe they've gotten better. I don't know. But for example, a lot of houses, you walk in the front door and the first thing you run into is either an office or a powder room,
Mhm.
of which you should not show neither one of them as like the first thing. Right. So it's just stuff like that. But there was never a now. Am I gonna research the house? Yes. Do I look it up on Zillow? Yes. Do I look at the previous listing photos and go, okay, like that? Okay, I can see that. I can see that. The other thing that helps me is we have trained our agents to send us either a listing description or a listing summary ahead of time that I can reference. So if they're sending me what they're going to write as the listing description, then that should have everything that is important about it.
Okay.
Real talk. No agents are paying, unless they're using Listing Launchpad Pro, no agents are paying enough for you to like sit down and plan out shots.
Right.
That's not how this works.
Sure. No, and I 100% agree. But I got into I've seen like other studios and whatnot. They say when we arrive there, we've kind of got an idea how we're going to build it. We're already kind of building the framework of this video in our minds when we're shooting. So that's how we kind of know what shots to get for what areas, and then how it's all going to kind of tie together.
I think you might be looking at people that are charging multiple thousands of dollars to create their stuff. I know there are people out there that'll actually spend the entire day, right? Or they'll spend half a day, like 4 or 5 hours. But that's all, again, if someone is paying you enough where that's worth it, yeah, I would love that. If someone's like, hey, I'm gonna pay you so that you can be here, right? Morning, noon, at twilight, so that you can get the absolute best shots. Yeah, of course.
Right.
But that's not typically how that works out.
So
right.
Would you suggest then when you're entering a space? I mean, usually I do my photographs first, so I can kind of get a lay of the land, get the
correct
down, get the best shots kind of already set in mind.
So for me, when I show up, I don't unload anything. I just get out of my car, I get the key, and I go inside and I start turning the light. So that's what I call the walkthrough.
Right.
So that's when I'm just looking for things I gotta dial in, and then I start to kind of get a feel for the house. And then I go do my photos. And then I go do my virtual tour. Depending on what the weather looks like, there might be drone in there somewhere, right? Video is always the last thing that I do. And because of the fact that by the time I get to video, I've been through the house at least twice or 3 times. So like now I know. So now I know, okay, like I've got a nice big window, so I'm going to do a slide shot. Like I'm going to do a pull in. Like that all just kind of, at that point, you know what it is.
So you're just really building your visual library in your mind is really the most important thing.
Correct. But again, I think, I really should. One day I would just sit my butt down at the desk and count every single house that we've worked on, because it's gotta be, mid thousands by now, I think. But once you do that, then it's just like, you just kind of always, now it's like second nature. But then there's also the different shot types, right? Whenever you push in, you should always get used to getting the reverse angle.
Okay.
So if you push in through the front door, you shut the door behind you, and then you do the reverse angle.
Okay.
Right. So there's, you can go in, you can go out, you can go side to side.
Okay.
And then you can go up, you can go down, right? And then you can pan. I think it's 7 that I counted. There's only fixed. There's like 6 or 7 types of movement that you can do. The cinematic part comes into play when you start to combine those moves together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whether that's you physically turning or you're using the joystick to turn, like you can squeeze in 3 to 4 different moves at a time. And that brings the different dynamics. And I think that's what makes it more like cinematic, right, if you will.
Everybody's using the tornado or the what is it? Vortex spin.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of.
I just say it's been a very popular thing.
It's my opinion is like they're gimmicks. I mean, like, yeah, we'll leave it at that. But what you want to do though is you want to give enough ammunition for the editor,
right,
knowing that the more options, more creative options you give your editor, the better the output is going to be.
Right, but then not to spend 3 hours shooting video all over the place trying to cover every angle, and you only use
yeah. So I mean, a typical 25 to 3,000 square foot house, like I would come home with like 80 clips, 90 clips. Takes me 20 minutes.
Wow, I've really got to get my times down.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it is really like, again, practice makes perfect, and it's just, you're just walking and just like, you're just on the, so I'll give you an example. Okay, let me try to visualize a house. So you walk in through the front door, and there's like a little foyer area, right? Like a little entry. There's the closet, right? And then to the right, there's an office. And there's a hallway that takes you directly to the kitchen. But then if you turn left, there's the living room.
Right.
That's like a typical home structure, right? And then you get past the living room, there's the dining room, and then dining room connects with the kitchen, right? And maybe there's like a French door that'll open to the deck. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm gonna be shooting here at the end of the month.
So in a case like that, okay, like I would walk in, shut the door, I would do a reverse shot. And then I probably do like a slider shot with the camera pointing up towards the stairs, right? Kind of get that second floor shot. I go into the office, do a push in the office, get behind the desk, zoom in on my lens, and then do like a detail shot from the desk looking out to the hallway, right? And if there's a nice front lawn, I would do like a reveal shot through the window. And all that probably would have taken me 2 to 3 minutes. Because I'm not moving around a whole lot, right? So from there, I'm skipping across the foyer. I'm going into the living room. So I do a push in. There's probably a couch and a coffee table, and window is behind the couch. So I'm going to the far corner, and then I'm doing a pan shot, because that pan shot is going to show the living room in the middle, kitchen to the left, and the hallway and the office to the right, right? So as I'm coming out of that corner, I'm going to do like a turn shot with the coffee table in the middle. And then I'm going to kind of do a push in towards the dining room. And before I go in the dining room, I would turn around and get the reverse shot of the living room with the window behind it. But I would probably do this like a slider shot.
Okay.
right? And then I would go towards the dining room. I would do a push in, right? And then there's probably some type of a pretty chandelier on top of the table. So I will switch my gimbal into PTF, right? And then I will do like a turn where the camera is pointing up. There's my detail shot. Right. And then I go to the far corner of the dining room and then I do another pan where I'm going to get the entrance to the kitchen and then I will get the dining room and then I will capture the living room.
What lens are you using for all this?
The 16 to 28 Sigma is my go-to. On most standard shoots, that's the only lens I shoot with for our Listing Launchpad Pro clients. You know, comes out the 10 millimeter, you know, with the vertical, and I bust out the 28 to 72.8 for details, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, but that entire sequence I just explained from the front door covering the foyer, stairs, office, living room to the dining room, that's probably like 6-7 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yep. Because it's just like I'm not really stopping to think.
Right.
Like it's just like, okay, like, and my kind of the thing that I've always worked on is like I try not to go back to the place that I came from, just for the sake of efficiency. Mm-hmm. So it's always like, okay, like I'm here now. Where do I gotta go, and what am I gonna capture on the way? I kind of do that with drone too. Like I try not to fly to the same place to do the same thing. So I'm always like switching back and forth with photo, video. So if I'm like, okay, like my drone is here now, I want to take the drone over there so that I can take another photo. I will flip over to video, and then I will capture the video on the way to whatever my next point is.
Right.
So 20, 25, I mean, that's probably, you know, like if it gets bigger or I got to walk outside, then, you know, we could be looking at like 30, 35 minutes, right? This here, I'll show you. Ooh, I wonder if...
So have you ever done like a fly-through?
A fly-through. What is a fly-through? FPV drones. No, I just do that with my gimbal. So, all right. So this video right here. Let's go. Let me show you. So
I met another guy who's wanted to get into the real estate. I tried to give him this page, but I couldn't invite him because it's not. Anyway.
Oh, to the group?
Yeah.
I
told him to reach out to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and do a window, and all right. So hopefully you can see this. All right. So all right, first video started at 12:18 p.m. Now I'm gonna not count the drones because, you know, drones are separate. So first clip started at 12:18 p.m. and then I finished. I don't think these are sequential. All right, here we go. Okay, so 12:02 p.m. is when I started, and then 12:21 is when I finished.
Wow.
And here is the result. And drone videos are, let's see, drone videos took about 15 minutes. That was a drone shot. I try to take care of as much exterior with the drone. So this was a.
I do too. It's just so much easier.
So when you watch a lot of our videos, like and like know what I just told you, like you just kind of go, okay, like now that makes sense. Like it's all. All right. Well, not bored everybody, but yeah. So I mean, that's a pretty typical. Like it wasn't huge, but I had some ground to cover because I gotta walk back down to the dock where the water is and all that. But typically, I try to go 95% of my shoots are booked in a 2-hour window. And it is really rare that I don't get everything done in the 2-hour window.
Wow.
So photo, video, drone, and virtual tour.
When you're doing your photos, are you adjusting for level first, or are you just catching that in post?
What do you mean? Am I leveling my camera?
Yeah, like making sure everything.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean that takes time, doesn't it?
2 seconds?
Maybe I got to get a different gimbal because mine is just, I got to tweak mine all the time to get it to.
Oh, Lordy, you have the Gearhead? Oh, my goodness. Some people are going to not like this, but I think Gearhead is like the worst thing as a real estate photographer when it comes to efficiency. I have a ball head. So all I got to do is hold my camera, right? Undo the tension, get it leveled, redo the tension, and then click.
Yeah, I've tried using ball head before.
I
wasn't able to get like the very consistency. Although I am learning to use the levels on the camera now, and that actually makes a big difference.
Oh my gosh! So you're saying you are using the levels on the tripod?
No. But like I would do a visual. Try to find
oh wow! Okay, yeah. I have always relied on the camera leveler.
Right.
Yeah, 1000%. Because I'd be like, holy cow! Like that's
takes forever.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Here I have
So okay, so you like playing with the ball head.
So I've never used the Gearhead. So I would say that I am probably more biased. Like I do not know what it's like to use a Gearhead.
Yeah, I think probably the one part of it I know is I probably need to adjust the tension on the knobs, because one of them really got to fight and then it overcorrects and then you got to balance, and the other one it's fine. I can dial it in. Then that one's okay, but it was also not the most expensive gear. It was not the most expensive Gearhead also, so that doesn't help.
Here, so I don't know. So let's just to kind of give you a point of reference.
Yeah, my man Frodo. So that's what I use. I love these new clips though.
All right, let's try this. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was so this is me right there. So I'm gonna so this is the 360 camera mounted on top of my camera.
Yeah.
All right, so All right, so I just set the tripod down. I raise the tripod. And okay. And boom. Okay, so I went wide and that was it. So there we go.
Or you have it set up for autofocus as you're depressing, or do you use a back button?
Half press.
Half press. Okay.
Yep. Half press. So like right there. Set and then tight and shot.
Boom.
Yep. That was it.
Or don't you immediate delay? No delay, huh?
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I got.
So and man, I 2-3 years ago, we were spending close to 3 hours on a shoot with 2 people.
Oof.
And that was crazy. I was like, this can't be. There's got to be a better way to do it. So from that point on, I just kept going. Okay, like, how do I go more efficient? How do I go more all the way to a point where consolidating my bag so that it's just my backpack, drone bag, tripod, gimbal, and I'm done. Like, I can take everything in the house, one shot, stick it in the garage or stick it in the closet so I don't have to come, because what I used to do before, leave everything in the car. And every time I would switch, I would come out to the car, get all that just adds up.
Yeah.
And now we're finally down to like sub 2 hours where like I just get everybody booked for 2 hours. So if it's a small place where I get done earlier, I either try to do something extra for the agent, or I'll shoot like behind the scenes stuff, or I'll just get to the next shoot earlier. So like 2 hours is kind of like what I like to mess with.
And that's for how big a house?
Anything from 750 to all the way to like 3,500.
Wow.
Yeah, because here's the thing: the bigger the house gets, after 3,000, you're dealing with not more spaces, but just bigger spaces. Mm-hmm. So whether you're shooting a 3,000 square foot house or a 5,000 square foot house, the number of images you're going to come home with is probably similar. It's just that spaces are bigger. Bedrooms are bigger. Living rooms are bigger. Kitchens are bigger. So it's not like a, what's the word? It's not a incremental thing where, if it takes me 2 hours to do 3,000 square foot, and if it's 6,000 square foot, it should take me 4 hours. No, it doesn't. It probably only takes me like extra 30 minutes. Gotcha. Just because it's a longer walk from places to places. Where it makes a lot of difference is scanning the virtual tour.
Okay.
And that has to do with if it's like more of an open concept, way faster than dealing with walls everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. But like planning the shoot, like I think like take 10-15 minutes, look it up on Zillow, see the house, and then you arrive. Right now, it's a little bit different for me because I have my assistant put in all the notes in my calendar. So I know what I need to focus on and what I need to do, when I show up. Not everybody has that luxury, but it's basically look it up when the order comes in, look it up on Zillow, take whatever notes you want to take, and then on site, do the walkthrough. Like, I made it so that I'm not even carrying anything because my only mission for the walkthrough is make sure everything is dialed in.
Right.
All the lights are on. Because if I don't do that during the walkthrough, there's a good chance that I will miss it.
Sure.
So this is where I tell the agents, like, I really would appreciate it if you are not here. If sellers are not here, because any additional element, whether it's human, animal, whatever, it just goes towards throwing me off of my routine. That increases the chances of something going not right.
Oh, yeah, 100%. When I shot the video on Monday, or the tour on Monday, I shot a Zillow tour, and the homeowners were still there. They were trying to stay in the room, but inadvertently turned off one of the lights. I didn't notice it till I was right up on top of it.
Mm.
I was glad I noticed it before I took that next picture. Otherwise, I'd either have to go redo that shot. But
Right. Yeah, so as far as and even the those scripts that you sent me, like even that, I feel like that is I don't think you're getting paid enough to do all that. Remember a couple of months ago, it was one of the very first episodes. I showed you that custom GPT for the script, the rescript custom. That has been wonders for us. Now I've trained my entire team to be able to use that to come up with like short scripts, right? It is not like one of the main reasons why I went to the 360 video storytelling is because agents are way more comfortable telling a story in their own voice than having a teleprompter, with the script.
Sure.
So, that's like I'm just like that, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of work. And I don't think you get rewarded as you should.
Yeah, leave the storytelling for the movies and whatnot.
Right. And I went through this in the first couple of years where I took so much pride, but it's like at the end of the day, it's business. Get the job done, right? And make sure that the thing that we are making is going to serve its purpose. And you want amazing storytelling with amazing quality and amazing, well, that here's the price for it. And if they're willing to pay that, then yeah, I'll go to work.
Yeah, because my goal is to hit the $2 million home plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want those videos that like everybody just stops and like, oh my gosh, I want to get there. I'm trying to work on that end of it, but because I think that's really where the money is.
Let me tell you something. How many? What's the ratio between a regular house to a $2 million house in your area?
Very few.
Right.
Few million plus.
So let me ask you this question: if it's very, very few, why do you want to get there?
I just don't think many people actually have any ability to service those listings very well around here, or
right,
outside companies to come in.
But here's the thing: if let's just call it like average price of a house there is what, 300, 400, 250?
Average, yeah.
Okay, so call it what? Can I say 400?
Yeah, between 4 and 5.
Okay, so call it 400. It's easier for you to do 5 of those $400,000 listings than one $2 million listing, and you would make more money doing 5 $400,000 listing. I guarantee you.
If your pricing is right, yeah.
I promise you. Right? Because those are the cookie cutter, I know what I'm supposed to do, right? In and out. Whereas this one, you're going to be like, oh, I got to do this. And I'm telling you this from experience. I would much rather do the standard listings compared to like one super custom, because the amount of time and energy that goes into that ends up being exponentially higher.
Versus if you lived in Miami.
Exactly. Again, if it's more of the norm, then sure, like Miami or like LA, right? But like, yeah, Seattle, you can count Seattle because there's pockets where like, like $2-3 million homes are not rare, right? So, but it's like, again, like, is the end result, let's make money, grow my business, or let's make something pretty?
Hopefully a combination somewhere in between, but I get what you're saying.
Yep. So.
Right on.
All right. Well, any last words? I'm kind of beat. I took I drove for like 5.5 hours today. Yeah, I had a agent reach out to do like a commercial shoot. It's like a property, grocery store, like all that, and it's like 2.5 hours away. And then I ended up like I'm trying to help a different agent win a large new construction project. So like we are putting together the presentation for him.
Oh, wow.
So, and where that is, it was like a extra hour away from where I was going. So I just kind of lumped that together. But this agent that hired me for commercial, I was trying to hook him up a little bit. I gave him my X5 and I was like, hey, Paul, you know what this is? Like, I want you to just go around the compound and, you know, tell everybody what all this is, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, this is cool. I've always wanted to get one. And I was like, I'll tell you what, if you go buy one right now, I will edit this video for free.
Right.
And he got it.
Nice.
He went and bought it. Right. I am so convinced that this is the ultimate single piece of equipment that every agent can benefit so much from.
Yeah.
So go get one, brother.
I've got my X4 sitting over here.
Oh, okay. Right on. All right, cool. Anything should we kind of continue on that Google business profile thing next week? You think would that be helpful if kind of went line by line? How are you doing with your Google business profile?
It's all set up. In fact, I was just looking at it when you said all that about doing the posts. I'm like, okay. And I just recently got set up with a CRM.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's a high life. No, it's the
high level.
High level. I think it's based on the high level system. It's like rebranded. Because I mean, I've got the same icons and everything else on my system, so I've got to poke around in there and see if I can. Because I just tied my Google system, my Google profile into it. So I'm gonna start taking advantage of that. Oh, one question: can I tie my clients' Google into that CRM? Or is it just I'd have to do it for them on a different platform?
Yeah. So what you have is you are the end user.
Right.
So you need to become the agency if you want to have your clients in there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right. So like for me, I have a agency account that allows me to have my own and then add my clients on there.
Okay.
So agency account is $297 a month versus regular account is $97 a month. So, you know, that depends.
When I get that much of a demand for it, then I'll bother.
You can go pre-sell it.
Yeah.
Go. I mean, go tell people like, hey, like, is this something? Because we are running everything in there for our clients. Like our marketing launchpad, everything for our marketing launchpad is driven through that. We build landing pages for agents there. We do social media management for agents, automation, email, like everything is in there.
Right.
So, I mean, if you can get one person to pay you $500 a month, then you're already in.
Yeah, get a VA to handle the.
That's a whole different story. Yeah, good luck with that.
Discussion for another night.
Good luck with that.
Good seeing you, man.
All right, brother. Well, glad you're safe home, ready to rock and roll. So we'll see you next week.
All right, buddy.
All right, sounds good.